tato jayamudiraye. Before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supremest human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nashtapraye sabhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati utamashloke bhakti bhavati naishtikim. By regular attendance in classes of the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Reign of Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, Part 2, Chapter 31, Lord Kapila's instructions on the movements of the living entities. Text 41. Yamanyate patim mohan manmayam rishabhayatim sritvam sri sangatha prapto vita patyagraha padam. Synonym. Yam, which, manyate, she thinks, patim, her husband, mahat, due to illusion, matmayam, my maya, rishabha, in the form of a man, ayatim, common, Sritvam, the state of being a woman. Stri Sangataha, from attachment to a woman. Praptaha, obtain. Vita, wealth. Apatya, progeny. Griha, house. Pradam, bestowing. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. A living entity who, as a result of attachment to a woman in his previous life, has been endowed with the form of a woman, foolishly looks upon Maya in the form of a man, her husband, as a bestower of wealth, progeny, house, and other material assets. From this verse, it appears that a woman is also supposed to have been a man in his or previous life, and due to his attachment to his wife, he now has the body of a woman. Bhagavad Gita confirms this. A man gets his next life's birth according to what he thinks of at the time of death. If someone is too attached to his wife, naturally he thinks of his wife at the time of death, and in his next life, he takes the body of a woman. Similarly, if a woman thinks of her husband at the time of death, naturally, she gets the body of a man in the next life. In the Hindu scriptures, therefore, woman's chastity and devotion to man is greatly emphasized. A woman's attachment to her husband may elevate her to the body of a man in her next life, but a man's attachment to a woman will degrade him, and in his next life, he will get the body of a woman. We should always remember, as it is stated in Bhagavad Gita, that both the gross and subtle material bodies are dresses. They are the shirt and coat of the living entities. To be either a woman or a man only involves one's bodily dress. The soul in nature is actually the marginal energy of the Supreme Lord. Every living entity being classified as energy is supposed to be originally a woman, or one who is enjoyed. In the body of a man, there is a great opportunity to get out of the material clutches. There is less opportunity in the body of a woman. In this verse, it is indicated that the body of a man should not be misused through forming an attachment to the women and thus becoming too entangled in material enjoyment, which will result in getting the body of a woman in the next life. A woman is generally fond of the household prosperity, ornaments, furniture, and dresses. She is satisfied when the husband supplies all these things sufficiently. The relationship between man and woman is very complicated. but the substance is that one who aspires to ascend to the transcendental stage of spiritual realization should be very careful in accepting the association of a woman. In the stage of Krishna consciousness, however, such restriction of association may be slackened by because if a man's and a woman's attachment is not to each other but to Krishna, then both of them are equally eligible to get out of the material entanglement and reach the abode of Krishna. As it is confirmed with Bhagavad Gita, anyone who seriously takes to Krishna consciousness, whether it is the lowest species of life, or a woman, or of less intelligent classes, such as the mercantile of lower class, will go back home, back to Godhead, and reach the abode of Krishna. A man should not be attached to a woman, nor should a woman be attached to a man. Both man and woman should be attached to the service of the Lord. Then there is a possibility of liberation from material entanglement for both of them. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunavadi Paschatade Satarine Nahata Parayasena Prabhupada Saturstaye Sankirtan Pravati Artihate Gurave Namaha Om Gyanatimnandasya Gyananjarasalakaya Chakshuruminitam Jana Tasma Sri Gurave Namaha. I was born in darkness, ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisance unto him. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Govinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Good morning, and thank you all for joining and for once again giving me the opportunity to serve my Guru Maharaj, this yatra, and at the same time getting an opportunity to purify my heart. So, as I mentioned before, we have been given a wonderful class of biology. Just see how perfect Srimad Bhagavatam is. But Bhagavatam goes above the material study and gives us information about the painful condition a human being has to endure in the mother's womb, where he is bitten by worms and scorched by heat of the mother's digestions, but also gets an opportunity to pray for salvation. That is, until the moment the baby is born, and due to the pain experienced at birth, he forgets the whole situation and starts all over again. Furthermore, if he is not keeping the right association and his mind or her mind is controlled by senses, then the living entity devoid of the four pillars is devoid of the four pillars of Dharma, and intelligence is totally lost. And instead, infatuation and bondage take place. And please note that the word used in previous texts is infatuation, not love. Infatuation means enjoyment, sense gratification. Love means sacrifice, understanding, realization. So let's read again the translation. A living entity who, as a result of attachment to a woman in his previous life, has been endowed with the form of a woman, foolishly looks upon Maya in the form of a man, her husband, as the bestower of wealth, progeny, house, and other material assets. It is interesting to note that many things of this and previous verse, and many others, are somewhat controversial because they may seem that a woman is a mere representation of Maya, or it is of an inferior nature. But we need to understand that one important thing is that all living entities are jivas, and only Krishna is the Purusha. Therefore, we should not identify with the body, but with the soul. In this way, attachment will be there for Krishna and not for our body, or of the body of the former of a husband and wife. Now, Detachment does not mean lack of care. When we love, we care, we serve, understanding that as long as we are in this temporary body, we still have to do our duty. Srila Prabhupada said that women have a special mercy because women can take any position, and it is not easy to practice or to advance in the body of a woman because she's constantly serving. And a body of a man has more advantages in many ways. So it's not that the woman is less intelligent. Yes, it is less intelligent if she chooses to follow someone who will not protect her, who will not deliver her. So someone not in Krishna consciousness, and if she falls for that, then that will not be very intelligent. And Srila Prabhupada expressed that in few purports and some lectures as well. So why does it feel that taking a body of a woman is like a curse? Well, as I just said, because it is not easy to be in a woman's body. A woman has to deal with so many things, biological, socioeconomically, and of course, family. Men are strong pillars of society, but women are the foundation. And the stronger the values by these women, the stronger the foundation, and the better the pillars will stand. Ignorance comes when attachment to either husband or wife is there. For real attachment should be to the Lord. That is the best deal. And why is that? Because that is the eternal deal. A husband might be able to provide for his wife, but if he is unable to provide spiritual shelter for his wife, he is also in delusion and in Maya. Therefore, he will not be able to deliver his wife. We have to remember that the protection, the ultimate protection, the mercy of the Lord is that we are going to be remembering the Lord at the end. So when we understand that the living entity is eternal, Sanatana, and realize that there is a higher state, we can choose to use our free will to engage our mind and senses in the cultivation of knowledge that will help us in our quest to transcend the material realm and establish ourselves in devotional service. Then we could listen to our best friend sitting in the heart and out of his causeless mercy. He will make sure to send us to the right um, uh, he will send us the right help at the right time and in whatever body we are in. When our minds are not in control, the senses are not in control. We become godas, servants of the senses. And this, of course, is not conducive for spiritual awakening. We need to control our mind and senses, become Goswamis, master of the senses. We need to be sincere with ourselves so that we can submissively inquire, accept, share, and transcend, go beyond the material realm. Arjuna had a similar dilemma right in the middle of the battlefield of Kurukshetra. The mind is restless, turbulent, very strong. I think it is more difficult than controlling the wind. But the merciful Lord said, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by suitable practice and by detachment. And the Lord already made arrangements for anyone who wants to take shelter of Him, even in this iron age, Kali Yuga. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught us the way for the whole world to take advantage of this precious gift. He has given us the mantra that will connect us or reconnect us back to God, back to Godhead. But we need to be ready. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It has given clear instructions in his Shikshastaka, particularly the first three verses. He has given us the tools. The question now remains, are we willing and ready to take these tools and invite others also to build this wonderful house. Srila Prabhupada said that the desert requires oceans of water to satisfy it. We see in Arizona how many floods occur during the monsoon season, winter season. And what is that? Why is the desert not succeeded with so much water coming at once? Yes, at times it is get with plenty of water and flash floods or severe floods occur because the water is unable to penetrate the hardened soil. It cannot absorb it. So the sporadic rains would not help the desert to satiate its thirst, but it will crave for every drop of water. Similarly, we crave for every drop of bhakti. But in order to have bhakti, we have to have faith. So similarly, when we have so many desires and wants, and if we cannot differentiate between these and what our actual needs are, we will never be satisfied. Imagine a child with a new toy or an adult with the latest electronic gadget. It is awesome for a while, but once we are done with it, or when the next update is released, then we think, I gotta get it. I need it. I want it. And I'm no longer happy with what I currently have, which is probably a better thing of the new one. But media and marketing are always making sure that we understand that we actually need it, right? So what is this? That is infatuation. So Maya is tricky, and the influence of Kali is there, but we have free will again. Free will is so important. And by the way, nobody can or should try to mess up with free will. That is on an individual basis. And we have the intelligence to see what a better and permanent deal is, not what is not. Again, the Lord has provided the tools and instructions. His pure devotees have even made instructions more readily available to us. Srila Prabhupada was such a soul, he went to extreme pain to share this message. Now it is up to us to accept it. We are trapped in the conception of woman and men and women, or rather, if we are trapped in the conception of man and woman, and who is more intelligent, who is above who, then we will see that none will be intelligent because they will be bewildered with the love of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We cannot be trapped again in this conception. This is just a vehicle. Whether we are in the body of a man or of a woman, it's just a vehicle. And if we are misusing our intelligence, then we are not going to ride this vehicle properly. We are supposed to ride this vehicle properly towards Krishna, returning back home, back to Godhead. Women have very supportive roles, but men also have supporter roles to ensure that the women they are protected from all sides. Similarly, by engaging in the Lord's service, women who sincerely undertake devotional service will be eligible to serve the Lord. Maya, in the form of a wife, husband, wealth, etc., is very strong. But when we place Krishna at the center of our lives, Maya, no matter how attractive she may be, won't be able to touch us because we will be attracted by the all attractive Krishna. And by engaging in the service of Sri Radha Krishna, the all attractive couple, then we have even more mercy. For the one who enchants the enchanter of Cupid will be seeing our sincerity to serve Krishna, and she will help us in our quest. So at the end, whether we are in the body of a man or a woman, always remember Krishna. Never forget Krishna. And let's keep Sri Radha Krishna at the center of our lives. Maya will not touch us. We will be tested to see whether we want to serve Krishna or give him headache. But if our faith is strong, Krishna, by his mercy, will take